What is going on, Phillies fans? Welcome into the Fighting's Final. I'm Big Al. I'm here with you tonight, and we got a lot to unpack on a 14-3, albeit soggy night victory. Very in the scheme of things, in the scheme of baseball currently, long night. It was a long night. It was 3 hours and 1 minute on top of a rain delay. The game supposed to start at 6:05, starts around 7:15. And here we are, 10:20 p.m. But the Phillies win. I mean, and win big, 14-3 against the Giants, 2-0 in this 4-game series. Not 4-game series that starts on a Friday, end on a Monday. But 14-3, already, at least at the worst case scenario, we'll split the series. But can go for a series win tomorrow and still have another night to pull it off if they don't get it done tomorrow. But Ranger Suarez is Ranger, even in the rain. Not the crisp innings we've seen from him in the beginning, but the way this weather and this day started and how rainy it was and how messy it was and how it really affected the pitching for the first two two pitchers for the Giants. It doesn't matter. This team was remains on fire. I mean, I if I could show you my paper without it disappearing, all the colors are either walks, yellow or strikeout, green and red. A lot of hits, a lot of stuff going on. I had to make some moves just to make sense of the whole situation. But I'll make sense with it with you guys tonight. Hopefully you're joining in. I'm gonna hit some of these comments real quick. Daniel Berry, it's always nice to see you. How you doing, my friend? How long is Bohm out? That is a question. Hopefully not long. For those who don't know, Bohm was pulled in the third. Whit Merrifield came in. Some hip discomfort, hip soreness. That was that's all they said. Hopefully it's just nothing. Hopefully it's not a big thing. I know Trey Turner's out. We're all a little worried. It's one of those nights where it's slippery and wet. I even came out and checked on Ranger at one point, but he just said he slipped on the mud. Probably one of those nights they probably shouldn't have played. But I guess because they know that it's going to be hard not to get it in. But, hopefully nothing much. Marshawn, what's going on, bud? We injured bad. No, I mean, Trey Turner, is especially as well as he's been hitting, it's a smack in the mouth. It absolutely is. But hopefully they can continue to play hot, and they are. They're still playing hot. It was a good night tonight. If you follow me on Twitter at Big Al EOP, I made some jokes. I had to make some Cassiano jokes, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's part of the conversation tonight. Jeff, great game, but I don't know. But to what? It's like, stop the mid-sentence, Jeff. 14-3. What is a football game? Yeah, it's a low-scoring football game. That's what it seems like. Ranger, am I right? Yeah, Marshawn, you're absolutely right, my friend. Great game, but to lose Turner and Bohm in back-to-back games, geez, other people have got to, and I think that's the other part, pick it up. Yep. Yeah, again, we don't know anything about Bohm outside as they pulled him. Maybe it was precautionary. They're like, it's raining, even though they weren't. They were fairly up on him. I think at the third inning, they were up at least 6 runs at that point. So it might be just precautionary. So I'm not worrying about it until I worry about it. If anybody hears anything, sees anything on Twitter, please let me know, because since I'm live, I can't really hear the post game. If if Tomper comes out and says anything, again, I'm thinking it's just precautionary, so we'll find out. Star Wars 99, Bohm and Turner injured, sucks. Again, Turner, absolutely. Bohm, we don't know yet. I'm not getting freaked out until I know. Another great game by Cassie. Yeah, that's gonna be one of our topics tonight. Cassie actually got his first time off tonight, which you're like, wait a minute, he didn't take off. In the 7th, they pulled him and put they pinched hit Pache for him. So that was actually, they said, the first time he's had off at any time during the season. The guy who's been struggling as much as he has, I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll find out. We're leading against the Braves. I know the Braves are down 7-1 against the Dodgers right now in the 5th. Let's keep our eye on that. That would definitely help us a lot in the division. All others have to pick it up. Absolutely. Mike's chiming in. What's going on, Mike? You can't start watching the standings in May. Yeah, you can't start watching the standings in May, but it kind of goes along with the conversation that this team wanted to come out to a hot start. So That's going to be one of my other topics we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. So, guys, it's a rainy, cold night. There's not much going on if you're not out and about. So, hang in with me. There's a lot to unpack. So, I'm going to unpack it with you. Sal, hey, Sal, what's going on about jumping in? Scary thing is if we lose Bohm and Trey, our best right-handed bat is Nick Cast. Let's not put that voodoo out there into the stratosphere just yet, guys. Again, we don't know. He tweaked a little something. Hopefully, nothing bad. Maybe between the weather being cold and slippery, he just tweaked a little something. They can work it out. And maybe we'll be back tomorrow or Monday or something. Again, don't know. It's a good start. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I know, but that's my point. We're not staring. It's not time to stare at the standings, but it's important because where we're usually at in this time of the year is looking up, not looking down. So Braves losing. That's really yep, Jeff, absolutely. 8 straight home game wins. Keep it up. Keep it going, guys. Linda. I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, absolutely. This team is on fire, and we all worried about it. Is May they're gonna get cold now? It's only 4 days into May, so I'm not gonna start pounding my chest yet. But it's good to see that it's continuing, and even tonight it's continuing. This was a perfect night for the team to slack off. This kind of rainy, moist, cruddy, late start kind of game where guys can just go out there and hack away and just try to see what they can do. For a 14-3 game, there's very little home runs involved with it. But you got to take a lot of the good out of this one. Again, this is a night where team like a team that could just take it easy, slack off, or whatever. Whatever you want to call it. But they didn't, and they were trying to get their hits in, and they're being timely with it. Even saw some new pitching from a pitcher in Randy Rodriguez making his season debut. Career MLB debut. I'm sorry, not season debut. MLB's debut. And we know how they do against guys they've never seen before. So it's not a lot of things to unpack, and good things, I think, for the most part, outside of the Bohm. Hopefully, not a big deal. Soreness. We can win the series, absolutely. And Eagles 49ers. Yeah, maybe that looks like that with that score 14-3. Is that what you're saying, David? That feels like an Eagles 49ers game instead of a Phillies and Giants game. But it was a 14-3 victory. Bro, you need to start a podcast, laugh out loud. I think I've done a few, just a few, Mike, just a few. Let's go. All right, real quick, guys. I want to remind you that this is brought to you by the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar and in 5400 Fern Boulevard in Drexel Hill, PA, at the Holiday Inn and Suites at Drexel Brook Event Center. We will be back there live this coming Saturday. So a week from today, a little less than a week because it would have been this afternoon it went off. May 11th, we'll be back at Streetlight Kitchen and Bar, Holiday Inn and Suites, Drexel Brook Event Center. And it's a great night because it's also they're going to have brunches leading up into it. So you want to bring your mother, your wife, your sister, whatever, anybody out. It doesn't have to be a mother. It could be a father. It could be anybody. There'll be a brunch. There'll be a great menu for between the pregame, postgame, and the game. A great bar, and hopefully the weather's a lot better than it's been recently. So we'll be outside kicking it in the awesome bar with the outside TV, the outside bar going, the outside relaxing area going. And then you can be there too. And just by being there, you will be entered in a chance to get free tickets to the June 28th game. 2 tickets, 200 level tickets. You can't beat it. Great seats. It's also a fireworks game. So all you have to do is be there. You come there, you're handed a little ticket to put you in the drawing. And if you're there, I'll give you other opportunities to get more tickets to give you higher chances. So just come on out, have a good time, spend Saturday afternoon with us. And enjoy the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar at 5400 Fern Boulevard, Drexel Hill, PA, in the Holiday Inn and Suites at Drexel Brook Event Center. Come on out. So let's go through this real quick. Let's talk. Normally I go hitting first, but you know what? I want to talk pitching because there's a lot to unpack with the hitting. Not that there's not a lot to unpack with the pitching, but a lot more with the batting. Your starters today were Ranger Suarez, as you know, for your Phillies, and Keaton Wynn for San Fran. And Keaton, this is a kind of game that Keaton would love to forget. needs to forget, needs to move on from. I don't know how else to say it, but he lost today. Only went 2/3 of an inning. That's right, 2/3 of an inning. 4 hits, 5 run, all earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, and he only let like 3 runs up in the last like 18 innings, I heard. So this was, I don't know if it was the weather, whatever you want to call it. And the Phillies pounced. I mean, they really pounced, and we'll go over it a little bit more, but everybody came to bat, including twice for Schwarber in that whole first inning. So the Phillies jumped on him and jumped on him quickly and continued to. And let's see. And Mitch White would come in for him and finish up the inning, but he would also go 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts and no home runs. And then Luke Jackson would come in for 2/3 of an inning with 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Eric Miller, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, but he also let up a home run. And they even brought in Tyler Fitzgerald to be a position player to pitch. Yes, because it got to that point, when the other team's throwing a position player in there, it's a good night for your team, because that means they are throwing in the towel, literally. Yet he probably had one of the best pitching innings all night in the 8th inning, but than probably any other pitcher out there. But in total, they went 8 innings, 12 hits, 14 runs, 11 earned, 10 walks. That's the other thing we're going to talk about. 10 walks. Phillies broke out 10 walks today, 4 Ks, and 1 home run. So that is a ratio we can all get behind. So that's what I'm saying. 10 walks, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see on top of, because like you're looking at 14 runs, you probably would have expected more than 12 hits maybe, but 10 walks helps that out a lot. And that's a big thing, because we all know the strikes out have been big. And even with Castellanos not being great tonight, which we'll talk about in a moment, he didn't strike out that much either. The only 4 strikeouts came 2 from Bryce Harper, 1 from Whit Merrifield, and 1 from Johan Rojas. But that was it. So that was the pitching for San Fran. Now let's look at the much better pitching we got from our boy Ranger Danger, as Marshawn said, Ranger, with the type of weather we had today. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, left 1 home run. Again, not making excuses, but this weather, to go 6 innings and only let up 3 earned runs, it was a good night. And he's for a number 3. I mean, he continues to just wow me the way he's been pitching. I mean, I've always known he was a good pitcher. He was not a 3, like he was a guy in the 3 hole, but could be a 2 on other teams easily. But he has just continued to dazzle us as his pitching can, and he could really turn heads as one of the better left-handed pitchers in baseball. Jose Ruiz comes in, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, but no runs given up. And Sir Anthony had a good inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And the total pitching for your Philadelphia Phillies, 9 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So, when the 1 home run. So overall, great pitching. Just great pitching on one side, not so great pitching on the other side. And that's why I'm saying, like, even though the weather wasn't great, our pitching still did really well. Their pitching, you can make, like I said, you can make the excuses, but both teams had to play in the same soggy field. And I mean, it was soggy. Hope Walker pitch well tomorrow. Yeah, we hope Walker pitches well tomorrow. Star Wars, that's the whole hope. Braves losing 7-1 in the 5th. That's right, Dave. Kev, same thing. Yep, 7-1. What we want to see. We'll get to the out of town scoreboard in a few. Imagine if Cassie didn't ground out into 2 double plays with the bases loaded. Again, yeah, we're gonna get that in a second. One, it wasn't a double play. It was close. It was technically a fielder's choice, because I don't think that was considered a double play, because he didn't get out the second time. He did in the first one, and even in that one was questionable. that they didn't. I was wondering. I guess they didn't want to review it because it was just too close and the weather. They wouldn't have called it because they could have probably questioned that one. But still, not what you want to see when the bases are loaded and the team's been hitting. Um, but yeah, Castellanos hasn't hit since Game 2 of the 2023 NLCS. Yeah, I mean he has been. Yeah, it has not been a good year at all. He has had a two games where he had a couple, lined up a couple hits, had a couple good games, but never was able to string games together in a row, and hit. And it's now with Turner being down. Hopefully, Bohm okay. That rest isn't coming soon. Yeah, Jose Ruiz went 2 innings. Cassie couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. It's what it feels like right now. And he started every game. Ugh. Yeah, Dave. Yeah. And it's probably going to be starting, for a little while now until Turner comes back. I mean, they're saying they put him on the 10-day DL. They're saying 6 weeks. I mean, hopefully it's not that long, but I mean, you're looking mid to end June, Father's Day. We're not going to be seeing Trey Turner, and he's I mean, outside of Alec Boehm, has just been one of our best hitters. So hopefully it doesn't, they can step up and other guys can step up. Because even Bryce Harper, he's been doing good, but not great. Not Bryce Harper, what we're used to seeing. So I mean, there's definitely different things to unpack here. And we're going to unpack all that right now. But first, I want to remind you that this is brought to you by PhillySportsTrips.com. That's right, PhillySportsTrips.com. They have a great trip coming up June 15th. Like for all your local guys, you're like, you know what? I can't go away. I don't have time to go days away. Well, PhillySportsTrips.com have day trips, and this one to Baltimore is a great one. If you haven't been to Camden Yards, it's amazing. I love Camden Yards. It's real close by, so it's only a quick bus trip. You get down there in about an hour and a half or so. But the food, the tailgate, all the Phillies fans, Philly Sports Trips does it right. It is not just a ticket and a bus trip. It is an experience, bar none, the best out there. All right. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. And if you're like, hey, I want to get away, I want to go on Better John. Chicago's available. They're going to go to Wrigley Field. They're going up to Boston. They have that available. They're going to PNC Park. They have that available. They have all the away games for the Eagles. They got a lot of things coming up. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. Check them out. Tell them Edge of Philly Sports sent you. You got to go. So let's get to it. This part's going to take a little longer, but we'll do it all together. Let's start with Kyle Schwarber, who had a decent game tonight. He had 2 hits on 5 at bats, or 2 for 5, we'll say. 2 hits and 5 at bats, 1 run, 2 RBIs, 1 walk. Got above his batting average above 1. So he's at 212 in the batting average. You want to take that as a little victory lap, one of his better batting averages in a while. Romuto, he was 1 hit, 1 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 walks. Stubbs came in at the end, gave him up. He only had the 1 at bat, but that was it. Didn't do anything with it. Harper, he was 1 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Clemens took over for him in the 8th. Was 0 for 1 tonight. Boom, like we said, he came out of at the 3rd, but in that amount of time, he actually went. He was 1 for 1 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. His hitting streak stays alive. I mean, that is pretty crazy. And accordingly, he's the first Phillies third baseman with 17-game hitting streak since Mike Schmidt, who was on the call tonight with Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. So even though he didn't get to play the whole game, he was able to keep that hitting streak alive and do what he does best. He has been phenomenal. And I know people who wanted him traded, even when he started getting better after the I hate this place moment. And people wanted him, like when he started doing really good, like, trade him while he's still hot because he's not going to last. I'm telling you, man, he's gonna be a Philly for a while. So get your Alec Boehm jerseys and wear them proudly. Whit Merrifield did come in, had a heck of a game himself. He was 1 for 2 with 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and a strikeout. And, of course, that big home run he had in the 7th inning. Marsh, he was 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI and a walk. Castellanos was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 1 RBI. Pache, he was over. He only had that 1 walk that went up the bat. He only had the walk. That brings us to Stott, who had a decent night tonight as well. 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. So it was a good night, real good night for him. Sosa, Mundo Sosa had pretty interesting. He got lucky, got away with it. I don't know, at that point they were just trying to wave the white flag and move on, because there is a double play turn that or no, it should have been almost a double play, but almost could mean it actually could have been safe on all accounts, because he threw the ball before he touched the base, but they didn't call him and they already wasted a challenge. So it was very interesting. Like, I guess it was one of those soggy nights you can get away with one of those moments. They didn't care because they were just so far out of it at that point. But that was an interesting non-error. And Johan Rojas, he was 1 for 5 tonight with 1 run, 2 RBIs, and a strikeout. So he's doing pretty well for himself as well. And like I said, in 36 at bats, 14 runs off of 12 hits, 11 walks. 11 RBIs, 10 walks, and only 4 strikeouts. You cannot ask much more from that than you're fighting Phils, and it is looking good. I heard it's at least 6 weeks. Yeah, Kev. It is at least 6 weeks. That's what they're saying. Best case scenario is 6 weeks. Anything more than that's, just icing on the cake. So that's what Trey Turner is, at least 6 weeks. Honest, do you think they have anyone to hit behind Harper? Well, boom. And looking at what Linda's saying, Topper saying bombs should be good for tomorrow. So it will continue to be Bohm, and hopefully so, because they're going to start. Who's going to be hitting behind Bohm is going to be the next question. Because JT's in that number 2 hole right now, because it would have been nice to have JT there to kind of scare them from trying to, walk Bohm when the time comes. But JT's in that 2 hole right now, as long as Trey Turner's out. So, that is that's good news. Thank you, Linda, for bringing that to us. So I guess we could take a little breath of fresh air. Just take a breather, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Bohm is okay right now. So I know if all these baseball players getting injured right now, people getting real nervous, the kind of night, real sloppy, real soggy. This is, good news, real good news. Everybody should be happy. But that is your box score tonight. And again, the other thing about the box score I'm going to go through as well is the crooked numbers. Like, the innings were just amazing. They had 5 runs in the first, 4 in the second, none in the third, fourth, or fifth, and 4 more in the sixth, another one in the seventh. So crooked numbers, man. You like to see that in the box score for your team. But let's do this. Let's take a ride down the Broad Street bottom line here. All right, guys, Broad Street bottom line, and that Broad Street bottom line is brought to you by, let's go to Dolan's Bar. Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park. But May 25th is the day. We talked about John Kruk. I heard a lot from John Kruk tonight. He had a lot of talking to do to fill in some of the long parts of the inning. He will be at Dolan. So will Mickey Morandini. And to play wiffle ball with you, come hang out for Dolan Spring Classic Wiffle Ball Mania with Mickey Morandini and John Kruk on Saturday, May 25th at Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, Ridley Park, right off 95, right south of the airport of Philadelphia. Just come on out. It's a great time. EOP will be there calling the game. It's always a fun time. Something we look forward to, I should say, every year. So come to Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, and go there any day. You can have a great time any day. You never know who's going to walk in the door. There's ex-Philly sports fans, sometimes current Philly sports fans, Philly sports heroes who walk through those doors. The new menu is extensive and delicious, man. You got to check it out. They have an amazing menu. Smash burgers, all that kind of stuff. They extended their hours. You gotta come out to Dolan's. Great place to have a drink. Great people there. I have some good friends there at Dolan, not just PJ, but some of the great guys who come there. You gotta have a great guys and gals, because everybody, great time. Come on out to Dolan's Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue, especially May 25th. So Broad Street bottom line is, what a crappy night for baseball. What a soggy, terrible night for baseball. It's a night like you want to be under a blanket, warmed up, hot drink in your hand, maybe something with a little Irish in it, if you know what I mean, and just chilling out but they played through, and kudos to the fans and in the stands or hanging around. Like a lot of people, a lot more people I didn't expect to see in there. But I guess when you're winning, it made it a little easier for people not to leave early. Um, so that being said, 14-3 win in the midst of a day like it's been is just amazing. 3 hours and 1 minute. It's like a typical baseball game just a few years ago, and it seems like an eternity and now with the new rules. But the big thing is those first couple innings. They're pouncing on the teams early, and I want to go through this for a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. I made a little. It was kind of like a joke tweet, but at the same time, it's not a joke because it was um pretty crazy moment. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, here we go. Sorry about it. Excuse me, guys. I tweeted this out, but I wanted to go. I want to talk about because this is about one of my bottom line things. Is Nick Castellanos has to be better. Okay, here's your first inning sequence, right? From your first hitter to your eighth hitter. All right, that's all Keaton Wynn got to. They didn't even let him go against the nine hole hitter in Rojas to see if they can just get him out. But that's all he got. Keaton Wynn went 8 hitters tonight. That was it. 2/3 an inning. Walked the first guy in Kyle Schwarber. Walked the second guy in JT Realmuto. Bryce Harper singled. And then Alec Boehm came up, and he got an RBI off a hit by a pitch. Gotta love it. Then the next batter got hit into a double play RBI. And then, well, it's not a double play RBI. It was a double play, but a run scored. And then RBI single, and then single. Okay. So Bryson Stott had the RBI single. Sosa singled. So the only person who hit into a double play in the midst of all that was Nick Castellanos. He needs to. I know he even said he needs some time off. It would be great, but right now that does not seem like it's going to happen. It just doesn't seem feasible with Trey Turnaround. I think Sal said it earlier. If something did happen to Boehm, he's our best right-handed hitter, which would be a scary moment right now. He has the ability to do better. He needs to do better. He needs to work on it. He needs to come up, not be in his head, not get behind in the count, and not chase after things, and not try to just crush the ball. Just make contact. Make these little bloop singles. I don't care what it is, but when you have a moment like this, it's bad enough to strike out, but it's worse to hit into a double play. Luckily, they played that wrong, and they were able to still score and keep it going. All right. Johan Rojas would have his own RBI single, and then Kyle Schwarber would come to the plate in the third and get the final out when he lined out to first base, and that would be the end of it. And then came in Mitch White, who also struggled in the rain. And again, let's kind of go through this. JT Realmuto, triple, and they scored on the pass ball. I believe they scored that. Then he walked Harper, and Alec Boehm hit his single, and then Brandon Marsh walked, and then here comes Nick Castellanos, almost a double play. It was very close to being a double play, but it was a fielder's choice in this case because he was able to hustle it out a little bit, and the ball was thrown a little slower. So it was an RBI, fielder's choice, if you want to call it that. And then that's it. Like again, and then he popped out to center field. He had that broken bat single, and then he was able to work out a walk in the oh, I'm sorry, no, he didn't work out. That was Pache. So he had that single. That was it. Luckily, he was able to have help 2-run score, but out of pure dumb luck and all the good work around him. So he needs to be better. That has to be the ultimate bottom line tonight. Is he needs to be better. Let's see. Coming on Julio, Ranger Suarez, Cy Young at the moment. You could definitely you could definitely talk about it. I mean, again, May 4th is a little early talking Cy Young, but I mean, he's turning heads and he's having a hell of, he's having, was he 6-0 in the season now? He's also, let's see real quick, 6-0 in the season, 1.72 ERA. Yeah, I mean, and right now he definitely in the Cy Young discussion at the very least. One of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball. So yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a little early to be talking. It's like staring at the standings right now, but points being made. He is having a Cy Young month at least right now. Hopefully that continues. Um, Mike Green saying, F the Cy Young. I want the World Series championship. I'll take both. I am Mike. I'm greedy, but at the same time, I agree with you. I think anybody would take. Even Ranger would take the World Series win over the Cy Young. I think that's without a doubt. But he's making a good point. He is out there. The discussion is to be had. Stott and Marsh got each other. Like as friends, like okay. Cassie's frat bro macho attitude isn't being backed up by his play right now. Disgraceful. Needs to pick it up. Very simple. He needs to go look at he. I think some guys need time to look at something. Like, some guys just have bad habits, and Nick Castellanos is one of those bad habit kind of guys. You know what I mean? Nick Castellanos, when he's in his own head, he's wailing at things way up on his own. He's trying to crush the ball. He's not making good contact when he does it, and it's his little bloop outs. Like and then when he gets his little bloop singles, when he gets lucky, he just needs to go and make tweaks and listen to what he's being told. Maybe a little bit. Maybe look at himself, watch himself at bat. What am I looking at when I watch these at bats? Go back and look at his own tape. What am I doing wrong? And fix it, because we're going to need him now more than ever. Things are, you're going to have some stiffer competition coming up, especially in this month of May. We know how the Phillies tend to be in May. So far, they're starting off very well, but he needs to be better, short and simple. Am I right? Cassie hit into 2 double plays. It would have been his third of the night. No, Cassie, he had the 1 double play, and in the second inning, it was almost a double play, but he beat out the throw. It was close. It was very close. And again, untimely. You had a guy who hit a triple in front of you and scored on it. You had a guy who walked in front of him, singled in front of him, walked in front of him, loading the bases for you. And he almost he had the bases loaded in front of him twice now in 2 innings, in inning 1 and inning 2, and he almost hit in the double plays in both. He did in the first one. And again, that first one, if they reviewed it, they may have been able to overturn that because it was very close. It looked like he beat it out, but that's what it's ruled as. It doesn't matter in a 14-3 win. You're not going to worry about turning over that in that position. But ultimately, yeah, clutch. He is not right now. Johan Rojas, I think, deserves some credit for turning his season around offensively on top of great defense. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I've been on Team Rojas. A lot of people have just wanted to write him off. I mean, I keep going back to last year. The man didn't come up until after the All-Star break. And even then, in the beginning, he was like going 3, 4, maybe 5 games without playing. And he was hitting consistently when he played. Of course, yeah, when it came to the postseason, he was a problem. But he moved up quickly in the world of baseball in the minors. Didn't have much time down there, came up and produced well. And yeah, the moment got ahead of him. Little slow start. But other than that, he's been, I'm very happy with what he's been doing. I mean, his ERA isn't like anything to write home about, but it's not bad. 228 after how he started. It's still better than Kyle Schwarber's. And still way better than Nick Castellanos 183. So yeah, I'm on Team Rojas. I think Rojas, like I just said about Bohm earlier, will be a future center fielder, everyday player for the Phillies as he grows. We forget how young he is. We forget how talented on defense he is. And if he can get his bat together and just know he doesn't have to, whale the bat and try to hit home runs like everybody else says, just dink and dunk it, man. You got the speed. Use it. Use it to your advantage. Linda, Al, you're right. Or you're right, Al. Cassie is in his head. Oh, absolutely. It's all mental with him right now. It's all mental. It's not like he lost his power. He lost his focus, and he's like mental. He's a basket case when he gets in his own head. He makes dumb decisions. San Francisco lost 2 catchers in 2 days. Good point. Star Wars 99. Absolutely good point. Oh, and a great day for you today. May 4th, and may the 4th be with you, Star Wars 99. San Francisco, losing 2 catchers in 2 days. That sucks. I mean, we are lucky as we are right now that it's only about a 6-week period and hopefully maybe less depending on his rehab and if they do injections or whatever for Trey Turner. So time will tell. Time will tell. 6 weeks without Turner, going to be seeing a lot of Sosa. Yeah. I mean, I know they were like kind of asking about moving Stott over. Witt talked about, maybe possibly. I mean, maybe even, I don't know. I don't think Cody's played much of a shortstop at all. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be that way for a while. And Sosa can be good too at bat. But he hasn't had much at bats to really show anything. I mean, he's batting at 280 in the amount of time he played so far this season, so he's not doing bad. Wasn't on the stat sheet, wasn't a runaway night for him, but I mean, the first inning he got a single, timely hitting. Nick Castellanos couldn't do that. Then he had the sack RBI, which, by the way, might have not even been that if the guy knew what he was doing. The pitcher at the time, I guess that was Mitch White. He was the one pitching at the time, and I don't know if he lost count of the outs and thought that was going to be the final out, or he just didn't even look back. The guy on third base, he just threw it over, got Sosa out, but recorded an RBI out of the deal. He flew out to the right field, and he got on base on the in the sixth inning because of catcher's interference. So and then he grounded out to third base as well. So yeah, that's my bottom line is very simple. And I have one more bottom line. Where are the haters at? There's guys on this stream, guys who chime into this shows a lot, not just the Fightings Finals, but a lot of guys who come at me a lot about how this Phillies didn't, they talked about getting to a much better start. It is a little bit more than a month into the season. And this season, the team couldn't get to any better start unless they were completely undefeated. Could not be any better start. They're the best record in baseball, the top of the division right now. Where are those haters at? That's what I want to know right now. Where are you guys at? There's certain guys. I'm not going to call you out by name. I'm not going to embarrass anybody. But, I sit here and I come on here and I put myself out here and you guys come here and you attack. Come in here. I eat crow when I'm wrong. Gotten used to the taste of crow a little bit. Come on out and try a little crow, a little hot sauce on that crow. Tastes fine. Especially when you're wrong, when it's good for your team. That's why, I'm okay with being wrong in these scenarios. I'm okay. I'm okay when I say a player's not going to be good and he turns out to be an all-star. I'm okay when I say a team's not going to come out to a good start and they came up to a great start. This team is out to a great start. Okay, 23-11, best record in baseball right now, tops in the division. All right, where are my haters at? You got 37 first inning runs. That's tops and number one in baseball. Okay. That's the Phillies right there for you. They are 20-0 after leading after 7 innings. 20-0. That's what winning teams do. Winning teams win. Winning teams win when they're ahead. They don't fall apart from behind. I mean, even though we saw a little bit of that in the beginning of the season. Something they came out a little bit, but the first couple series, not pretty, but the ship got right, and and they've been cruising. Guys like Alec Boehm, that wasn't on people's scorecards of him leading the team in baseball at one point in hits and everything and batting average. You know what I mean? So adding that to your scorecard is even better. Bryce Harper hasn't even been hitting great. It's not been bad, but it's not been great either. So wait till he gets hot. JT's been pretty decent. Kyle Schwarber, up and down, has Kyle Schwarber moments. Nick Castellanos, not great. Not great at all. Bryson Stott, looks like he's getting better and better as time goes on. 2 RBI singles tonight for Bryson. 2 walks. Good night for Bryson. And we all know Bryson can be a good hitter. And I'm not worried about it, but he'll get better. So, and Sosa's going to grow. This can be a really great season. And buckle up, guys. Fightings Finals is going to be here. It's going to be here to lead you through this entire season. I want you guys to be along for the ride. Come out, seriously, and I know you're oh, of course, Al, you're going to say this. It's your advertisement. But, I'm going to put it out there again. Come on out. Come hang out. I want to meet some of you guys. If you're local, come on out to the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar and hang out with us and have a great meal and a drink, and we'll talk and we'll do our pregame show. And then in between, we're going to be watching the game with you. You can ask me questions. We can talk baseball the whole time. We want to be there. We want to hang out with you. Come out. This is how I get to meet the fans. And seriously, it's It's fun. I do enjoy meeting the fans, getting to know everybody, and giving you a chance to win Joe's tickets. He's so mad at me right now. I took his tickets again. He's so mad at me. So come on out. Like seriously, hang out with us. Star Wars updating us 8-2 to Dodgers. We're gonna get to the out of town box scores in a second. But real quick, I want to let you guys know that this was brought to you by let's go with sherrystickets.com. That's right, sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Sherrystickets.com is a great place to get your tickets for sports, concerts, theaters, you name it, they got it. Forget the other guys. Don't get bamboozled at checkout from these guys. Great prices, no hidden fees, and then you can save an additional 10% off with that great promo code EOP10. That's right, EOP10 to save 10% off at sherrystickets.com. Great prices, no hidden fees, an additional 10% off by using that great promo code EOP10. You guys should be using this often. I tell you this all the time. Forget the other guys. We can't keep giving things away like this the way we do. Come on, guys, use it. Sherrystickets.com. And you know what? Let's do this one. Cherryinjurylaw.com. Sometimes bleep happens. All right? Sometimes bleep happens. And in life, workers' comp injuries, motor vehicle injuries, personal injuries, criminal law, they can turn your world upside down on its head, and then it doesn't even look the same. And you need somebody to be a guiding hand, a man with a plan. And that man is David R. Cherry at cherryinjurylaw.com. The Cherry firm. Go call them at 610-565-0300 for all your workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, and criminal law needs. Cherryinjurylaw.com. Check them out. Tell Dave Cherry that EOP sent you. All right, guys. So that's your Broad Street bottom line. Let's take a look around the league and go around the bases. All right, guys, around the bases. Let's look at it right now. Going on right now, and it looks like it's just ending. Actually, the San Diego Padres. They just moved. It just updated. Sorry, guys. All right, let's go. Sorry, they literally updated on the screen and it moved everything around. Let's just go with what's currently going. As we've been talking about in the chat, 8-2. The Dodgers are up in Atlanta, bottom of the seventh right now. So 8-2 Dodgers. Final on it looks like that's the only game still going on right now. Games that have gone final. Yankees beat the Tigers 5-3. Twins beat the Boston's beat the Red Sox 3-1. St. Louis lost to the White Sox 6-5. That's in 10 innings. Chicago Cubs beat Milwaukee 6-5. Both teams really good teams in baseball right now. The Cubs are 20-14 and Milwaukee's 20-12. Pittsburgh is definitely cooled off. I mean, how many times do we have to see that before people start learning that Pittsburgh always starts off hot and then just cools off? They won tonight though, 1-0 against the Rockies, who are 8-25 on the season, and Pittsburgh is 15-9 on the season. So they're 4 games below 500, even with a win against the Rockies. Toronto Blue Jays beat Washington 6-3. The Oakland, another slobber knocker today. The Athletics beat the Marlins 20-4. Cleveland beat the Angels 7-1. Baltimore beat Cincinnati 2-1. There's a couple slobber knockers. So what did I just say? 20-4 for Miami. Oakland versus Miami. 15-4. Rangers beat the Royals. Royals also came out to a good start as well. Seattle 5 and they beat Houston 5-0. Tampa Bay beat the Mets 3-1, and Arizona got walloped by the Padres 13-1. So that means if the Braves lose tonight, everybody in our division loses, and we won today. So that is around the bases here at EOP. All right. Now, like I said, we normally don't look at the standings, but because this team is in first place in not just the division, but in the league, you know, I just want to take a quick look to tell you like how good this division really is too, to keep your eye on it. Let's see real quick though. Devil's advocate here. Phillies have only played the Braves, who are 500 or greater than 500. Other teams were less than 500, so they are wrecking bad teams. But that's what good teams do. I don't know how many times I have to say that. That's what good teams do. Cincinnati is not a bad team. Right now they're about 500. They're below 500 today with their loss today. Um, Pittsburgh was good at the time. They were playing real good baseball time, one of the hottest teams in baseball at the time. Who else did they play? Why am I kind of blanking out? We'll get to that in a second, but I understand what you're saying. But you play who's in front of you right now, right? You beat your teams, you win your series. That's what good teams do. You're not going to win 162 games, okay? Even even good teams that win like win 100 and if you win 112 games, you still have 50 losses on the year. Remember that. So they will cool off at one point. They'll go through their ups and downs. Every team does it. Every team has their ups and downs. Okay. Keep winning the series. You'll be fine. And at this point, again, they being going into May, usually they're barely 500, maybe a little above 500 at best coming out of April. And then in May, they usually are, it's a below 500 month for them. And then they're playing from behind, and then they have a huge resurgence in June. And then, they're in the conversation again as one of the hottest teams in baseball, but still behind the Braves. So yeah, you can't win the season in April, but you can definitely lose it. Term we use a lot around here. So being the best record in baseball right now is super helpful, just super helpful. So I get it. I'm not getting ahead of myself, and I don't mind. And I love that you're playing devil's advocate. You're looking on both sides. It's a great analytical mind you have there. But this is all good stuff. It's all good news right now. The only bad news is the trade Turner news. That's it. That's it. So hopefully that won't be too long term and nothing lingering throughout the year, and he can come back and be as hot as he was before. That's what we have to hope for. So with that being said, for those who are chiming in, I want to thank you. The Phillies win 14-3. They are 23-11 on the season. And like I said, the Braves right now are only one game behind us, so they'll be 1.5 if they end up losing tonight. They played 3 less games than we have, I think, so far. Yeah. But we're 8-2 in the last 10. They're 6-4. So are the Nats 6-4. Mets are 4-6. They've fallen off a little bit because they were playing a little better brand of baseball than they did when they came out, because they came out real cold. But you got to look at that. You got to look at all these things. You got to, it starts by winning the division. Starts by winning games in months you tend to struggle in, and other players picking you up, bench players picking you up, guys who aren't on your bingo card to be great players this year. Alec Boehm. So, take it all for what it's worth, guys. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy it. Like I said, I want to know, like I said on my Broad Street Bottom Line, where are the haters at? There's names not on this right now. I know you're watching because I can see the numbers. I can see all the numbers. Hundreds of people watching right now. I can see the numbers. Different locations. Some on the site, some on YouTube, some on Facebook, some on Twitter, Twitch, and all those numbers. But I know you're watching. And I know you're being real quiet because you don't have you're not puffing your chest out. It's okay. I'm not going to torture you. I want you to just eat your crow and enjoy it. But I want you to enjoy this Phillies baseball. So enjoy it. 14-3 Phillies win. So, hopefully they can maybe pick up the series win tomorrow. Even get a little crazy and look at a series sweep. But like I said, they already tied the series, so that's huge. So let's see. We got Walker on the mound, Webb for San Fran. Webb's 3-2 with a 2.9 ERA. Walker had that one win with his 8.53 ERA. It's gonna be just a reminder, guys. It's not an early game, by the way. So your Titans final won't be until later at night. It's a 7:10. It's a primetime game. So in a 4-game series, it's a little weird, but they have two one Apple game, which was last night, and then tomorrow they have the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So if you haven't, so that means your Fightings final won't be until a little later. So check it out. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for joining in. I want to thank our great sponsors at PhillySportsTrips.com. I want to thank our great sponsor at Streetlight Kitchen and Bar at Holiday Inn and Suites at Drexel Hill, CherryInjuryLaw.com, Dolan's Bar, and DolansBar.com, and Sherry'sTickets.com. So thank you guys. Thanks for hanging in. Like I said, it's a little less than an hour, 50 minutes to be exact. We went here. So I know it's a long night, but we had a lot to unpack. So we did it together, guys. Thanks for those who commented in. Thanks for joining us. Go to EOPsports.com for all the articles and things to check out. New stuff every day. All your major sports, plus lacrosse and soccer for the Union fans out there. So much more. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. If you can't find us, you're not looking hard enough. And other than that, you might hear my voice a little bit more. Tomorrow I'll be on PM and the AM with Pat and Mike. And I believe on the broadcast tomorrow is Maddie B. So you're going to have all positivity tomorrow, sunshine and rainbows with Maddie B. So other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm Big Al. Check me out, Big Al EOP on X. Other than that, I will see you next time.